I was enjoying every moment when the Gaethje clipped him. And Paddy Pimblett, he has zero MMA skills. He has a chin, and that's it. .com.
What did you make of Paddy's performance against Justin Gaethje?
Dog shit. Dog shit. He talks an awful lot of shit for someone that fights like that. You know what I mean? If the only thing coming out of that fight is that you got a good chin, coming from experience, you fought like shit.
Like, I'm always so respectful of the people, but this is why you don't fucking talk shit. Like, that shit bothered me very bad.
To me, I'm just gonna be honest, this is what it looked like to me. It looked like, if it looked familiar, it looked like the beating that Rashad Evans put on me once before.
Looking back early in my career, it wasn't nearly as intense. So we're a few days out from when Paddy Pimblett went to war against Justin Gaethje, and everyone witnessed the brutal punishment Paddy absorbed throughout that fight, particularly when round 5 kicked off. Paddy's face took way more punishment than Gaethje's did, but now we're seeing just how severe the damage really was because his wife posted some aftermath photos yesterday. Probably around 3 days after the fight, and man, Paddy looks absolutely battered. In one of those photos, his eyes are completely bloodshot and swollen completely shut. This is what happens when you step in there with Justin Gaethje. Look at the list of fighters who've gone through hell against Gaethje before. Guys like Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler, Rafael Fiziev in their first encounter, and now Paddy Pimblett. They all walked away looking like they went through a meat grinder.
You to see a fighter that takes as much damage as early
as Paddy did tonight?
Yep.
Yeah, you know, he got dropped a bunch of times and obviously took some big shots from a guy who knocks everybody out. But I don't know if that, you know, if it's going to... You could say the same thing about Justin Gaethje. How was his chin going to be after the Max Holloway fight? You know, so it's tough to tell. You don't ever want to see guys take too much punishment, but I don't know if tonight affected Paddy's, you know, longevity in his career at all. He showed tonight that he's tough, he's durable, and he can take a punch. He can take a lot of punches, actually.
Yesterday, Paddy finally spoke up and dropped a lengthy statement on his Instagram, thanking everyone for having his back. His message was straightforward: I'm doing fine. Walked into this fight completely healthy. Training camp was solid and the weight cut went smooth. No excuses here. Justin was the superior fighter that night. Justin Gaethje, respect brother. Sharing the octagon with a legend like you was incredible. Go chase that undisputed belt. Your legacy has earned it. I'm hoping we can do this again for the undisputed title, because deep down, I know capturing that gold is still my destiny.
Gaethje fought very fucking dirty in this fight. A lot of eye pokes, a groin shot as well. I think Paddy Pimblett had a groin shot that he landed too, but that was towards the end of the fight where it was just an absolute mess of a scrap between the two of them.
Grit of this kid. I don't care that he lost the fight. He comes back and murders like most guys.
Yeah.
Like anyone that doesn't have the grit. Like obviously everyone, like myself and everybody else, is worried about how much a fight like this takes out of you, but he's super young.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I think he's young enough to bounce back from a fight like this and to turn it into a superpower moving forward. Because not many people survive Gaethje the way he does, the way he did, or like have moments of greatness late in the fight after taking the hits that he took.
Here's what typically happens when a fighter absorbs this level of punishment in one night. Fans start worrying about what this means for their future and whether it might cut their career short. But Dana White addressed this at the post-fight press.
I'd like to see, because Paddy jumped levels.
He did.
And he's been doing that consistently throughout his career. And hats off to him. This fight, like, he was never out of it.
Yeah.
Okay? I think he took shots. And he took a bit of a beating, but he gave as good as he got, and it was a good fight to see. But I definitely think he needs to take a step back, not a touch-up fight or a tone-up fight, because like they don't exist in the UFC. But like take a step back from that top 3, top 4 competition, and then come back. I think he needs that.
Former middleweight champion Robert Whitaker echoes what Dana White was saying. Whitaker believes Paddy's still young enough to recover from a brutal war like what we saw in the Gaethje fight. Everyone's been talking about it. Paddy's still got time.
He won't be physically the same after this fight. I will. I'll be exactly the same. I'm going to put a beat down on him like he's never received. And I can promise you that.
You know, he's saying that this is going to be the same exact fight as Chandler. Him saying my face is going to be fucked up and his is not going to be touched. These are terrible things and terrible ways to think when you're walking into a cage. Like, you can't think like that.
Whitaker is also suggesting that Paddy should dial things back competition-wise for his next outing. Face someone ranked outside the top 5 to rebuild his momentum.
You know, I got the utmost respect for Paddy. Like I said, prior to going into this, I knew he was a fighter. I knew he was growing, and the most important thing he has is spirit. He got dropped probably like 6 times in the fight, and he kept getting up and fighting with spirit. But afterwards, like, I'm always so respectful of people, but this is why you don't fucking talk shit. Like, that shit bothered me very bad. And, you know, you can be respectful when doing shit. There was a lot of things he said, so it is what it is. I don't really let that get to me, but you say you're gonna mangle up Justin's face, is what happens. Justin weighed 185 tonight. And we're talking about him being big. He's a professional made weight and went out there and manhandled him. Everybody said that Justin can't get grapple. That's a huge thing. I'm sick of people saying that. Justin likes to fight, but he showed that he can grapple tonight.
Justin Gaethje made sure to call out Paddy after the fight for walking in there with completely the wrong mindset. Justin could tell he was way too cocky and overconfident, thinking he was going to run through this fight the same way he dominated Michael Chandler.
He was overconfident because he beat the trash cans like Chandler, Bobby Green, Ferguson. One of the Ferguson was good 1 point, but he was on his lost. He was on not his prime. That's why he could beat him. But if Ferguson was 5-6 years ago, he could beat him.
Even Justin's coach Trevor Whitman admitted that Paddy's pre-fight trash-talking really got under his skin.
In the fight, anything that impressed you at all?
Yeah, I got impressed when Paddy fought 15 times. He need to take a break for 5-6 years after the fight. He got dropped like 15 times. So bad for his brain. He was stupid. Now he's like, maybe now he's gonna be crazy, even crazy after this fight.
Arman Zarakian also thinks Paddy walked into this fight way too overconfident. Arman mentioned on the Anik and Florian show that Paddy got too comfortable because he'd only been fighting lower-level opponents before stepping up to face Gaethje. What's your take on his confidence level?
If he is involved, I could see a scenario where it's him versus Paddy. If it's not Chandler, I think it should be Chandler #1. If it's not Chandler, Paddy's probably #2 at this point. And then Gaethje fights Ilya, and Arman's going to have to fight someone else because they just don't seem to be huge fans of his. I've kind of fallen on that as far as how I think this is all going to play out. But of course, it can twist and turn a million different ways between now and then. Paddy's a big-time draw. Dana White said afterwards that this exceeded expectations by double. Paddy is probably the best option. And the fact that he didn't win that fight, the fact that he's not a champion as opposed to Justin Gaethje, I actually feel like increases his chances of getting this fight.
Arman went further, saying that Paddy's going to need an extended break after absorbing all that brain trauma.
But if they tell me UA is fighting with Gaethje in White House, yeah, I'll try to ask, let me go down, or like give me one fight and then title fight. I don't know. We'll see what they want to do, because I wanna be a champion. So, and I see in 145 there is no stars, there is no, the weight class is going down. Like, nobody talk about weight class. Yeah, there is a wall. He's a legit champion, but now it's not his time. You know, there is no good names. And if I'll be in 145 champion, I could stay there a couple years and then go up.
So now everyone's speculating about what's next for Paddy Pimblett. Dan Hooker makes perfect sense as an opponent. These two already can't stand each other, as I've broken down in previous videos. So regardless of how Hooker performs this weekend against Benoit Saint-Denis, the UFC should definitely book Dan Hooker versus Paddy Pimblett. But Ariel Helwani thinks the UFC might actually set up Conor McGregor versus Paddy Pimblett for International Fight Week now that Michael Chandler's no longer waiting around.
Curious if you have any thoughts on Arman potentially trying to cut that sort of weight and fighting you, and what that could do.
Yeah, I mean, like, I love challenges. He would obviously be a tough challenge. If he could get down there, that would be definitely a tough challenge. Same with Movzar. Obviously, Movzar, good. Like, even the wrestling side of things, like, I'd love that. Because for the legacy, you can talk about legacy. You've got guys like Movzar undefeated. So later, obviously, I've got a job to do this weekend. But whatever comes my way, you know, I'll be happy. But Movzar, Lerone, you know, incredible records, or even Arman, if he was to come down, like, yeah, that's a challenge. So that'll be definitely something. And I feel like my takedown defense is pretty solid, so that'll definitely be a fun one.
listen, all leading up to this, you never downplayed how tough you thought Paddy would be, right? But surely you never thought it was going to be like that. I mean, did you envision a scenario where he goes toe-to-toe and has a Justin Gaethje fight with Justin Gaethje?
Yeah, I did. I mean, that was his only choice. And I knew he wasn't going to quit. He's not a quitter. I've never seen him quit, never seen him give up. And luckily, I found some success early. You know, like I said, I was going to have to steal some momentum, and he was very confident, and I had to take that early. And, you know, the moment I stepped in there, he didn't take his eyes off me. That was me not too long ago. And I guess I was Eddie Alvarez, here to teach him a lesson. Same thing he did to me.
He did try a couple takedown attempts, a couple foot sweeps in the clinch, things like that. I mean, so he did attempt to get the fight to the ground, but did you expect him, or were you the whole time, were you expecting him to pivot his strategy and just like sell out for the takedown and try to get you down?
Yeah, I mean, but I deserve some credit for stopping that from happening. I mean, there's no doubt he wanted to get it there. But half of wrestling is stopping people from taking you down, and that's what I was best at. And so luckily I was successful tonight from keeping him there. I thought I grappled well. I was in his guard, in his guard a little bit, past his guard, landed some huge shots. Pretty sure I sliced his face open with a couple elbows. Felt amazing. So yeah, like I said before, since Oliveira choked me out, I've been putting a lot of work in, and it sucks that it's part of the sport, but I have to do it.
I thought it was great that you gave him some credit to his tagline, the Scousers don't get knocked out. But I mean, as you're hurting him multiple times over there, like, do you start to get frustrated at all? Or like, what do I got to do here?
No. I just got to stay in it. You know, my coaches do a good job at keeping me focused and keeping me in the fight. But I've been here, I've done it too many times to try to think that it's over or he's quitting. I knew, I could feel it. This guy was trying to hurt me the whole time. And if I took my foot off the pedal for a second, he was on my ass. And he did a good job up to the last second. I really wanted to finish him, but I loved teaching him a lot. He said my face was not going to look the same after the fight, and his would look the exact same. So as soon as it was over, I was like, well, look at your face, motherfucker. It does not look the same.
With the lightweight title situation being completely up in the air right now, Arman Tsarukyan has been dropping hints that he might cut down to featherweight to face whoever wins between Volkanovski and Lopez this weekend. Volkanovski got asked about Arman potentially moving down at yesterday's UFC Media Day, and he's completely open to that fight since it would be massive for his legacy. Justin Gaethje has made it clear he'd prefer to face whoever comes out on top between Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira if Ilia Topuria can't make it happen by International Fight Week. Looks like Arman's situation just got more complicated. Check out this video to get the full breakdown.